So this episode yet again confirms that Shinji is a creeper. This episode, holy shit, the way he was presented and the way he was speaking and everything, I was just thinking to myself, like, I know him from the original Fate Stay Night or whatever, but I mean, he just does the trick with the music, the ominous music, and the way he talks and everything. I was just like, God damn. Although to see the difference between the relationship with Shiro and him in this version of Fate Stay Night compared to the old one. In the old one, Shiro was kind of like a little bit like, oh, you know, he's my friend. I, you know, kind of care for him. But in this one, he's like, stay the fuck away from me, you creep motherfucker. And I don't blame him. Let's go. So the beginning of this episode was definitely one of the most interesting bits of the episode, with the conversation between Archer and Shiro, kind of understanding a little bit more about Archer, and that Shiro isn't completely dumb. He's not completely gullible to the entire situation, where he's basically like, I can tell that, you know, you have some sort of hostility towards me, or, you know, Archer could tell that he could tell, basically, that he, you know, kind of doesn't like him or whatever, and that he's following him. So first, between that exchange, it kind of makes you wonder, okay, why would he have such contempt against him compared to anyone else? It's like the only one that he's really been on his balls is actually Shiro. So that kind of makes you wonder, just what is it about Shiro that Archer is constantly on him? But another thing that makes me wonder is, everyone, all of, you know, the competitors, they have a goal. They want the Grail, and they have a reason why they want the Grail. But Archer doesn't. Now, you can attribute that to that Archer really can't remember things. But then again, even so, anybody would want the Grail. So why is it that he has a grudge, or not a grudge, but he's ultimately on Shiro's ass, like he really don't like him, and then he also doesn't want the Grail? Definitely some setup and build up. And that was mainly the extent of this episode. A lot of setup, a lot of build-up, a little bit of, you know, flirting and kind of funny stuff in this episode, but for the most part, build-up was what this episode contained. I mean, we even get to learn that actually Saber does want the Grail, but a lot of Saber is shrouded in mystery. We don't know who she really is. Like, we find out what other people are, you know, their true form or whatever, their true identity, but she's keeping that a secret ultimately, and just when she's about to reveal it, we get that plot device like, don't need to know your name. So there's secrets with her, a lot of secrets at that, because it's like, okay, why do you want the Grail? What is your ultimate wish? And based on her personality, you can tell she's not an evil person, but then again, why would you want the Grail? So a lot of mystery built up with Saber, and this episode yet again kind of yanks the chain. It's like, just when we're about to find out who she truly is, bam, no, plot device. And then we got the confirmation about Shinji being a master. Now, you can totally tell by this guy, like, I don't give a fuck what anyone says, or whatever he says for that matter. He is shady. He probably knew everything that happened with that girl or whatever. I mean, look at him, like, he just fucking gives off this creep-ass aura between his voice, the music that comes on, and the way he acts and everything. It's like, no, you're a fucking piece of shit slime ball. You can, like, literally look at him and see, like, the ooze of slime coming out of him for him being such a shit lord. And getting the little moments in this episode, I feel as though Fate has a nice balance of that, where you got the really epic and big moments, the huge plot developments, and kind of getting the progression and everything. And then you get these small moments as well, where it's like, you see Shiro training, trying to understand his ability, and then Saber coming along. And while it's interesting to see the characterization you get with them, if you really look, and that's one thing about Fate. Like, in all honesty, I feel as though I'm reviewing, like, when it comes to Fate, you know, Fate Stay Night and Fate Zero, these are very good shows. These are great shows. So I like to talk about the small things, the small details that come into the series. When, like, she's talking to him and he's there kind of getting a little bit embarrassed. To him, it's like, you know, he's one of us. He's a, you know, young guy that pretty much, he sees a beautiful girl all up in his face and he's kind of a little embarrassed. But if you look closely at her character, she is just like, well, you know, like, why is he, you know, what's going on with him? I can tell that he's a little distracted or whatever, but to her, it's just, I'm one of the guys. It's nothing. She don't see it in that light, and that kind of gives you a little bit more insight into her character and who she truly is. She's not a girly girl. Then the end of the episode, where pretty much Shiro gets kidnapped by Castor, we get a revelation of who Castor is, or not the complete extent of who she is, but ultimately that this person is a wicked bitch, and we have Archer saving him as well. So Archer, it's like, I think he's going to this extent. A lot of it has to do for Rin. I think he respects Rin enough, and he likes Rin enough that he'll do these things and kind of help out Shiro or whatever, because he doesn't want to make her sad probably, and ultimately he does respect her, so that's probably why he came to save the day. So it's like, it's a weird personality and a weird situation with him, because it's like, you could tell doesn't like Shiro and he wants to knock him off. And if that was the case, perfect opportunity to just let Caster do whatever to him. But the fact that he saved him gives a little bit more of a complexity to the character. And then things start to get a little bit more interesting as well when Saber's going and then she gets stopped by Assassin. So we have another one of the opponents as well. So things are starting to move along. Again, a lot of build up in this episode, and towards the end, a lot of setup for some fights and some good stuff to come. So I expect next week's probably going to be an amazing episode. But for the most part, this episode, good episode. A lot of build up, characterization, getting to understand more of these characters yet again. So I'm going to give this one 7.5 out of 10. I like some of the little subtle moments and everything. Understanding these characters, kind of getting a little bit of like Rin saying, oh no, you know, the little tsundere stuff that she had with Shiro, and at the same time Saber's personality, just really giving you an insight into who she truly is, and she's not the average typical female. But let me know what you guys think. First of all, could you see the ooze off that slime ball, Shinji? Also, what did you think about the ending? What do you think's going on? Because, I mean, why would Assassin come and stop and say, oh no, I must protect this temple? Definitely some things are forming, probably some alliances or something along the lines of that, but something is off. And what do you think is up with Archer? Why is it that he seemingly hates Shiro or doesn't really like him, but ultimately will still go the distance? Is it truly because of Rin, because he cares about her, or is it something else? And overall thoughts of the episode. Again, good episode, 7.5 out of 10. I expect next week's though to be great and probably beyond, but we'll see. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.